after 313, Constantine the Great legalized Christianity with the Edict of Milan. And most say, here are the beginnings of a new world order. Well, with the materials of this video we can shed a thread of light on the darkness and see that we have a historical continuity of Illyrian culture which has been misinterpreted. And perhaps this is on purpose. So the emperor after 313 was no longer just a secular ruler, but also a figure with a religious role. And as the chroniclers of the time tell us, the emperor enjoyed the high title of Basilios, so the title of the Illyrian kings Basilios. That name that we explained in the previous video, which is explained only by the Albanian language, and which shows an uninterrupted continuity of the Pelasgian Illyrian culture. Only from this simple name can we understand that everything that today's historians tell us is nothing but lies, which we will discover today through the Albanian language. The name that has come down to this day, Basilik, is used in many European languages to refer to religious buildings, mainly Christian, with a special architectural structure that originates in ancient times. Here are some of the languages that have this word in use. Albanian Basilik. In Albanian, it is used for early Christian churches, especially those of the Paleo-Christian and Byzantine periods. Latin, basilica. The word basilica in Latin was originally used for public buildings where courts and administrative meetings were held. Later, this name was adopted by the Christian Church. Vasiliki, Basalaiki. It comes from beta alpha sigma iota lambda epsilon, Basilius, which means king. In Greece, it originally meant a royal hall and later became a religious term. Italian, basilica. In Italian, it is used for important churches, especially those with status granted by the Pope, such as the Basilica di San Pietro in the Vatican. 5 French, basilique. Used with the same meaning for important churches, such as the Basilique du Sacré-Cœur in Paris. English, basilica. Used to describe large churches with special status. Spanish, basilica. Used for important churches. Achter German, Basilika. Also used for the same religious buildings of special importance. After 313, when Constantine the Great legalized Christianity with the Edict of Milan, and especially after 380, when Emperor Theodosius I declared Christianity the state religion, a merger of royal and religious power occurred. This is what these specialists tell us today. but according to the decomposition of the word basilios, that is, the material of the preceding video. And here I remind you, basilios/basilios is a term that encompasses two important pillars: earthly authority and divine enlightenment. The roots ba and ili are related to leadership, unity, and enlightenment, presenting the king as a figure who unites his people and follows the vision of the star, the sacred and guiding symbol of the Illyrians. The sun, the star that brings and protects life on earth. So simply put, this title of the Illyrian kings clearly shows us that the king who enjoyed the status of Basilios was also the elected high priest of the religion of that time. Look at the continuity of this culture now in the historical continuity. The emperor as a religious leader. After 313, Constantine the Great legalized Christianity with the Edict of Milan. So the religion officially changes. After Constantine, the emperor was not only a secular ruler, but also a figure with a religious role. He held the title Pontifex Maximus, which was once the title of the Roman high priest, but now passed to the emperor as the head of the church in the Eastern Roman Empire. In this historical period, the emperor was seen as sent by God and had the power to influence religious doctrine, even calling ecumenical councils, such as the Council of Nicaea in 325. So, as you can see, nothing has changed in Illyrian culture except religion. Basilios as an imperial and divine title. The official line tells us the word Basilios was originally used for independent kings, but in Byzantium it became the official title of the Emperor of the East. Basilios was not only a political ruler, but also God's representative on earth, taking on a dual role: leader of the people, politics and the army, protector and leader of the faith over the Orthodox Church. This is what the official line tells us. But the Albanian language gives us the correct information that this has existed since the Pelagio-Illyrian culture. Kings with the status of Basilios were also God's representative on earth, i.e. high priestesses. The connection with the term basilica. The official line also tells us that, initially, basilicas were Roman administrative buildings, where state matters were judged or people gathered for public matters. After Constantine, these buildings became religious centers, because the emperor was now also the protector of the faith. The name basilica was used for the most important churches because they were under the authority of the emperor, Basilios. They were centers of religious and state power. They were associated with the veneration of God and the emperor at the same time. Conclusion. The emperor, the leader with the title Basileos, has always been a spiritual leader in the Pelasgian Illyrian culture. Therefore his name, Basileos, is related to the name of the great churches, Basilica. The basilica was not simply a church, but a place that was connected to the highest authority, the emperor and God. This shows that Basileos and Basilica share the same root and meaning: a center of divine and earthly leadership. So the title Basileos, which originally belonged to the Illyrian kings, continued to belong to the emperor in Byzantium as a religious leader, and the name Basilica became his spiritual and administrative temple. So once again, considering the analysis we made in the previous video, the return of the kings Basileos, the connection of this title with the roots BAS, authority, leadership, and ILI, star, divine, illuminated, we arrive at an interpretation for the word basilica as follows: BAS equals authority, leadership, kingdom. ILI equals divine illumination, connection with the sky, with the illuminating star, therefore spirituality. So in Albanian, the word basilica still retains the meanings: where the divine king is located, where the divine begins and leads, the true place of the illuminating star and authority, the center where divine illumination appears. This interpretation clearly explains that basilicas were and are sacred centers connected to divine power and the highest authority. Whether royal of the past, therefore leadership, or spiritual, therefore religious. Now a question for all of you. Where did ancient Greek go? How is it possible? And another question. How is it possible that no one from the official line looks at and studies the Albanian language correctly and without manipulation? So this material in this short video should wake up many of you and understand correctly that the writings of medieval priests on papyri and old skins erased and rewritten several times, a darkness of historical space. The science of linguistics, if it really wants to still be called a science, must study the Albanian language correctly and tell the truth now.